Okay, let's kickstart the countdown then. Our team of research analysts are joining us. We have Karanya Rao. We also do have on the technicals Kunal Bothra as always, of course, and even Sameer Chauhan from Angel Broking. So good morning to all of you. Thanks so much for joining in. And I think the very first stock I'd like to flag off is Avenue Supermarts. Given the massive decline we witnessed in the stock price today in trade, while revenues did do well, we had a 33% uptick over there. What really disappointed was the profit growth. Only a meager 2.4% uptick witnessed over there at approximately about 257 crore rupees. This has been the slowest profit growth in many quarters, and on the back of this weak performance, mind you, for the second quarter in a row, we have had Citi maintaining a sell, Credit Suisse maintaining an underperform. They have as well said that this is another major miss, making it 2 in a row. They've also flagged off concerns with respect to the store additions that have dwindled considerably on a 9-month period. So this is something that's putting pressure on Avenue Supermarts. More result reactions then, and Karanya, on the flip side, J&K Bank seems to be doing pretty well.
That's right. The numbers are quite encouraging for the third quarter. Profits are up 43%, NII is up 21%. GNPAs have also, however, on a QOQ basis gone up 9.94% versus 9%. Net NPA also has expanded 4.69% versus 3.9%. But it's the profitability which has been supported by healthy NII and high other income that has lent support to the PAT figure. Provisions are high mainly because of IL&FS and aging-related provisions. Asset quality stress clearly has gone up, but it's the exposure of IL&FS which has downgraded and provisions have been made. So hopefully from now on the numbers will be even better.
Okay, that's J&K Bank for you today. It's doing pretty well in trade. Okay, Siddharth, let's talk about Strides. Shasun, you know, Manas earlier flagged this off as a buy. You as well are flagging it off. So what are we seeing in the stock price today?
Well, if he's flagging it as a buy, that means the stock prices are moving higher, and we have seen 5.5% rise in prices. Now, what's interesting is that the stock has, after quite some time of consolidation, has given a price volume breakout. If you look at volumes in both the segments, Mubina, it's quite high, and we are seeing fresh formation of long positions. More than 20% rise in open interest clearly suggests that it's not just cash market transaction, we're also seeing futures built up.
Okay, Strides, Shasun, the stock of the day today. Okay, let's take a look at the Nifty Bank then. And interestingly today, it's red over there as well. I suppose that's one of the reasons why you are seeing red on the markets in general. In fact, out of the 12 constituents, only 3 of them are in the green. So 0.8% lower, underperforming the benchmarks. Sameet, what's your stance here? Okay, we don't have Sameet yet, but essentially Sameet is saying that it is nearing a major support zone of 27,200 to 27,150, that's Nifty Bank, and he is advising to exit shorts around those levels. Okay, Kunal, let's talk about Mindtree. Midcap IT certainly has been the flavor of the last couple of days. What do you see here?
So, the stock has had a double bottom, pattern on the hourly charts. 800 has been tested almost twice, and the stock has seen a very sharp bounce on all those 2 attempts, and now I believe the stock is on the verge of breaking a resistance. So that could probably indicate that this bottom or the support of 800 is a very strong support for Mindtree, and there could be a possibility that you could see the stock gaining up further even from current levels. 870 could be a near-term target for Mindtree, would suggest a hold at current levels.
Okay, moving on to stock number 6, Infosys. This certainly is as well going to be a stock for the day, as the company, along with of course delivering a good set of numbers, revenues have beat expectations. Margins of course have been a bit disappointing, but I think the key takeaway and why the stock price as well is going to go higher is on account of the revenue guidance for fiscal 19, which has been raised. They are particularly upbeat on the deal pipeline, so this is something that's causing the stock price to go higher. In addition, of course, is the buyback price. Analysts are saying that the valuations, the premium is quite impressive, and hence there's a further uptick witnessed in the stock price today. 700 rupees and above that level in today's trade for Infosys. Kunal, over to you then for an HCC.
So yeah, I think we don't talk of the stock that often, but over the last 2 weeks there have been some strange increase in volume patterns. The stock is now trading very close to its 200 moving average, and looking at those volume patterns and the subsequent price moves, it gives an indication that maybe the stock is trying to form a medium to longer term bottom at these levels. So it's taking its own time to consolidate, but with these increase in volumes, I believe HCC could break out on the upside. That could be an interesting positional buy from a medium term view. I would place a target in the range of 16 to 18 on stock.
All right, currently at 13, 2.3% higher for an HCC. Karnia, Federal Bank, today we are seeing a decline combined the stock price. What's the reason?
Yeah, in fact, there's a fresh formation of short positions that's taking place on this counter. Very high volumes in cash and futures segment as well. The news that came by over the weekend is that one of their directors, Ganesh Shankaran, has stepped down. So clearly it's a bit of a hit to the top deck of the company, and that's perhaps adding to the pressure that we're witnessing on the stock price.
All right, Federal Bank down more than 4% as we speak at a level of 90 rupees. Siddharth, Apollo Hospitals, what are you witnessing over here?
Mubina, the stock is doing really well. If you look since last year, September 2018, stock has moved nicely from 1000 to 1300 plus level. Now from near term 1290 support resistance has been breached, but if we look back 1.5 years back, stock was struggling around this level of 1300, 1350. So with 1310, 1330, this is the resistance zone which is getting challenged. But the way volumes are taking place, the way open interest increase is there, it suggests that this resistance, a long-term resistance would also get challenged. So watch out for this name.
Okay, and interestingly, Siddharth, this one too was a top pick for Manas in the earlier show, Apollo Hospitals, that is. Okay, Samit, Praj Industries, one cannot ignore the move witnessed over here, not just in today's session, but for the last couple of sessions.
Yes, in fact, in last 3 months, the stock has already given stupendous move from the lower levels of 70, 75. In fact, with this month's massive price up move, the stock has broken out from its 10-year concession zone. So that clearly indicates that the stock has come out of its consolidation. And if we look at the overall volume activity, it has risen substantially, and thus we expect continuation of this move. In last couple of weeks, the stock has been on a roll. From here on, we won't be surprised to see this stock extending this rally towards 170. So one should stay put now. 140, 145 has become a very strong support zone.
Okay, there you have it. That's the view coming in on a Praj Industries, 2.5% higher. Okay, let's talk about Jet Airways. Meantime, in Economic Times has said that the deal with Etihad may have just hit trouble on account of the fact that Etihad seems to be, the talks with Etihad seem to be stuck over several stipulations that Etihad is putting forward when it comes to giving a further investment or putting in a further investment in Jet Airways. One of them being that now the Gulf carrier is unwilling to pledge shares as a collateral for a further loan for Jet Airways. So not exactly good news for Jet, and remember that on Friday's trading session we had seen a sharp move combine the stock price. Today it's high by 1.6%. Again, a sharp uptick is what we witnessed just right now coming in the last 1 odd hours. Kunal, Dr. Reddy's, then you have a buy here. Why is that?
So the stock is consolidating around its 50 DMA. It's one of the stronger ones in terms of price performance, not just of late, but in fact over the last few months, one of the leading pharma stocks in terms of price performances. Now the stock is consolidating around its 50 DMA, and it's now nearing a resistance breakout around this 26-25 mark. If that resistance goes, then this consolidation around this key medium-term average, I think, could end, and the stock could resume its strong uptrend, which has been going on since last, I think, 5-6 months for Dr. Reddy. I would suggest a buy about 26-25 levels for a very strong target of 27.50 and stop us at 25.50.
Okay, and it's a 0.25% higher for Dr. Reddy's today in trade. Karania, meantime, another stock where we are seeing good gains is Yes Bank.
That's right, and it's primarily because of a corporate development that happened, that took place. Brahma Dutt has been appointed as the company's non-executive chairman. This is till July 2020 mid. He's been on the board of the bank since July 2013 as an independent director, contributed to almost all subcommittees over the last 5 years. This is something that the bank had said in a filing, and do remember this comes as a big positive trigger for the company, because they've clearly been amid a lot of controversy, a lot of tips as far as the top deck is concerned. Now that they are on the almost on the breach of announcing a new CEO as well, this also comes in as a positive development for the company, just ahead of the announcement for Rana Kapoor's successor.
Okay, Yes Bank higher by about close to 4%. We'll do one thing, we'll take a very short break right here on the countdown, but come right back. Welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET. Now let's continue with the countdown. And Siddharth, sale is something you're flagging off. Once again today, two metals are disappointing.
Yes, Mobina, and we are seeing an open high. Open high in the sense the opening tick is the highest tick, which means that the selling pressure continues right from the opening. 51.52 is the support which is getting challenged. We are seeing formation of short positions in sale. And despite crude bouncing back, base metals are not bouncing, and ferrous, non-ferrous, all metal stocks are under pressure.
All right, that's sale for you. Sameet, NBCC then, and what are the levels you're watching out for here?
See, recently we saw a decent amount of recovery in this stock from low levels of 50. However, in last 3-4 days, the stock is seeing some kind of profit booking after such a massive rally of nearly 15-20% from near-term lows. However, going ahead now 58 to 57 would act as a very strong support. This was the previous breakout point as well. So we believe that at least for a time being 58-57 is likely to be held, and from here on, once the stock surpasses 61, we could see resumption of recent uptrend. So as of now, one should stay put. 57 is a key level to watch out for.
That is NBCC for you. Let's talk about Jubilant Life meantime, where Nomura has fixed stance. They have a buy, in fact, with the target at 948 rupees. They have said that, yes, there is that Roorkee warning letter. However, they do believe that this one could have only a marginal impact. So they are not too worried about the impact of the Roorkee letter on Jubilant Life. In fact, the free cash flows as well is something that they believe will not be too bothered. So Jubilant Life is a buy with the target at 948 rupees. The stock price, however, is subdued today in trade. L&T Finance and Kunal, what is it that you are seeing in the way the stock is moving today?
So, because L&T Finance, we are seeing there is some formation of short positions over there. In fact, Friday also we spoke about L&T Finance, where there has been a breach of trend line support. And today there is substantial rise in open interest. If you look at the volumes in L&T Finance, they are already trying to cross last trading session volume. Last trading session volumes were substantially higher than previous trading session volumes. So you can understand the cash-based selling in the formation shorts, which is pulling down L&T Financial holding.
All right, so that's L&T Finance. Siddharth is Siddharth's view on the 3.6% crack we are seeing today in trade. Karnia, Tata Sponge, not been an exactly enthusiastic set of numbers.
Exactly why the stock is under pressure. The profits have fallen over 25% on a yearly basis. It's coming at 27 crores odd. Revenue has risen 21% at the same time. Revenue reported by the company is nearly 261 crore rupees. So clearly the stock is reacting to the massive compression in the bottom line, even though the sales figure looks fairly okay.
Okay, 5.2% lower for a Tata Sponge. Stock price really not taking in the Q3 numbers likely. Sameet, Bandhan Bank, you are advising an exit here.
Yes, in last couple of weeks, this stock has seen massive price-wise correction. In this process, it has managed to breach its important support level of 500 on a closing basis. Since then, we have been witnessing this stock, declining towards its immediate support of 440. From here on, we would see a bounce back in this counter, since it has already corrected quite a lot in the last 4 to 5 days. But any bounce back towards 475, 485, according to us, would be an exit opportunity, because 485 to 500 would act as a very strong hurdle now.
Okay, more names being flagged up from the NBFC space. Siddharth, M&M Finance.
It's not just this DHFL or India Bull Housing Finance, which both the brunt of NBFC crisis, but these other names are also showing decent downside. Now, M&M Financial now is moving decisively below its 200 DMA. Last trading session also it closed below 200 DMA. Now this move have taken it further down. We are seeing formation of short positions, and just to give context that what kind of selling you are witnessing in M&M Financial, 2 weeks high volumes in first 2.5-3 hours of today's market in cash market, you can understand the kind of selling which is taking place here.
Okay, 3.4% lower for M&M Finance. But with that, we'll have to call it a day on this edition of Market Fatafat. So thanks to all of you for joining in. Sumit, to you as well for giving our viewers your technical recommendations. Coming up next, of course, is Markets at Noon. We're going to further dissect down the macro data.